Too sweet.
Okay, two sweet reviews here. Just finished our top 10 albums of 2024. Gonna roll right into our top 10 songs and I'm gonna get it going. So, without further ado, my number 10 song of the year is That's How I'm Feeling by Jack White. So, this for me, like right off the bat, has that infectious bass line, the catchy, raucous rock to go along with it. His vocals have never sounded better. They're right there. I mentioned in the podcast, I forgot the name of the song, but I truly feel like this could lump in with all those great rock tunes that they had in the past. It was played on Hockey Night in Canada, which was sick as fuck too. But this one lands number 10 for me.
Yeah, like as we said, it's like he is incapable of not making like a stadium banger. Like he understands the concept, the structure of how to make a simple yet catchy song, and the album was filled with them. So no, that's no, it's a great song. I wish I had.
Yeah, he just doesn't make a bad song. He's always a good guitar player, but this is next level for him. This is so good. This is where he feels back in the pocket. It's like he's trusting what he's doing rather than trying to be new and inventive. And he's like, I was really good at doing that. It's like, I'm going to try that again.
All right, my number 10.
There we go.
This is very much a concept of the album is extremely high on my list, but it's more of a sum of its parts. So my number 10 is Sympathy is a Knife on Brett, Charlie CX.
Mm.
I found her album very good in a from front to back, but as far as the top 10 songs, we had this conversation that you can have a really great song, but it could be on a terrible album, or you can have a really great album, but you're not going to have a top 10 song. So I felt that this song embodied the kind of Brat kind of vibe she was going for. It was a hard hitting electro type song. And no, it's, I think, the best one on the album. And yeah, it's just a great song.
Yeah, agreed. It's the best song on the album. I think the lore on the I Don't Want to See You Backstage, whether that's about Taylor Swift or that's about someone else, also impacts that. But just overall, I think this really embodies the album overall, like where she is this budding superstar, but she isn't sure she's there yet. Where so many of her fans feel like she should be there, but like Brat really elevated her, right? Like she wasn't there before this album, but like that's such a good song. It's Sympathy and Knife is just an interesting thought overall, right? It's just like I don't want your sympathy over me being better. It's like you make me feel worse by telling me that I should be better in some capacity, right?
I feel like there's a theme with like artists being confident with their almost like an imposter syndrome, like Chaperone right now. She is like blowing up in fame and she cannot handle it, right? And
Yeah.
it's obviously an issue that many artists have as they get more popular. So it's interesting to see how like Charlie is kind of navigating this kind of way of becoming more famous, but also having to deal with it, right?
And I think that's what makes Brat like the next step, right? Is the insightful lyrics, the thought behind them. She does say like I hope you and your boyfriend break up. So I feel like it is
Don't have to see you backstage at the show.
yeah, very T Swift. We could be wrong, but it seems so. So good pick.
Listen, Taylor put out that UK version right when Brad came out.
Yeah.
So there's definitely beef going on.
That's an interesting thing that we didn't touch on when your album we were talking about, like how she just tried to block a bunch of people from Billy as well, which didn't make our albums, but
But she's still putting out new stuff.
Yeah.
Still now.
This is why Billy is on the remix album and Taylor is nowhere to be
Not-
seen in this group of girls that have come together, right?
10?
Yep.
My number 10. Shout out Uncle Frico. My number 10 song is Crashing Through by Frico. I am upset that this band did not make my top 10 in terms of albums, but it's one of those that if you are listening out there, Frico, I feel like the best is yet to come for you guys. You are insanely talented. The guitarist, his ability to just riff through and sing, like it's insane to me, and I said this in my review, is that they sound like a collective, like a Arcade Fire, like a huge band, but it's just two of them. And it's so friggin' cool, man. He just whips through guitar solos and still has this like beautiful falsetto. And it's just a really good raging song.
Agreed. It was a great album. I was hoping someone was gonna have it so we could at least talk about it, and Granddad or whoever's gonna comment on our stuff. But yeah, it's great. Like it wasn't my favorite. Like I really like Where We've Been, the opener there, which really like caught me when we first put it on our thumb list there. But like Crashing Through is a great song too. It's a very solid listen.
Yeah. It's one of those albums where we all enjoyed the album, but we all had different songs. Like mine was Chemical, which I really enjoyed. But to your point, I felt a lot of Arcade Fire on this song.
Yeah.
Like it's like the falsetto, like the kind of trembling, a lot, not like Wake Up, but like similar, that kind of like vocal cadence he had. I see a lot of Arcade Fire in him, which is, yeah, obviously high praise.
Yeah, I think it just kind of just to sum it up here is kind of speaks to how much we feel about the band and where their trajectory might be, because we had three different songs on an album that is 8 to 10 songs. We're really feeling this band. Yeah.
And also, guys, I know you're still trying to make it. I hope that you fixed your tire on the way for that show in Atlanta. I follow you on Instagram. Your uncle follows us. Not a big deal. I think we're really connected in that way. But you guys will get your big break, and you won't have to worry about tour bands anymore.
Don't forget about us either. All right,
So-
number 9.
Number 9. So second time since we started TSR that this artist has had one of the best songs of the year, but not one of the best albums, and that is Saint Vincent with Hell Is Near. So this song, man, like it's almost like hypnotic, like the way they go da, 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 like it brings that in like super chill, and then like hits you with the big bass line right in the middle, and then like when it opens up a bit, it has that guitar going just super sick,
Those
like,
folks.
yeah, just like super sick.
In case you haven't heard it, it sounds exactly like that.
It has this really long like introspective like outro that like leads to the next song, but like her voice paired with that like bass guitar combo is awesome to me. I really enjoy it.
I have to agree. This is a fantastic song. I like Broken Man just slightly more.
Yeah.
This is another album in the vein of Freako where I just wish we could talk about it. So this is the opportunity. And I think you hit the nail on the head by calling it hypnotic. It is so good. She is one of the greatest indie darlings going. She's never done a full album that I like absolutely love top to bottom. But imagine like seeing her live and thinking she doesn't play guitar.
Yeah.
I knew he was going there. I had it ready to go in the whole suit. So for the folks, we started Oshiega, and I was completely convinced that she could not play the electric guitar.
Mm,
And what did she do?
played it really good.
Played it really good with a weird little dance, too.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, and I sent him a snip the other day. I was actually reviewing this or digging into this album because I thought Broken Man might touch there. And actually, funny enough, one of my real opportunities or real thoughts was the Curious Case of St. Vincent,
Mhm.
because I think if you've seen her live, you would be absolutely blown away. She has a hit parade in terms of her 4 or 5 albums, but she, to me, doesn't have that album
Mhm.
that absolutely blows you away.
Yeah. I listened to her album yesterday actually, and my thoughts are kind of the same. Like I think she has like 3 to 4 like super good songs, but the album just drags on and loses steam, and by the end of it you're kind of like like I love those songs at the beginning, but and that's still how I feel. So
Yeah, no, I agree. I also give the album a rinse for this. Like Broken Man, I felt like a lot of dissonance in some of the things. I feel like it's like a producer problem. It's like an in-house problem. She has the talent and she has the ability, but I feel like the team around her, maybe some slight adjustments could get her to that next step. But obviously the talent is there, and obviously she's extremely good at guitar, and I was extremely wrong in that sense.
you'll never feel the satisfaction that I did when she came out and ripped the solo. I tease him about it as much as it's actually might rival his hate for Charlie XCX, which is going to be interesting. Which one do I make fun of him
Which
more
is
for going
over
forward?
now.
The theme of Lundy finding validation over my wrongdoings is like getting worse by the day. That was like the start, but it's only been getting worse for me.
If
Honestly.
you're out there and you're listening to the three of us, I am right.
And the dance, like a little tippy toe dance, I couldn't even do it if I tried.
That's what I remember, the dance.
Goddamn tippy toe dance. Anyway, all right, my turn. Moving on. So this is my number 9 song on an album that didn't make my top 10, but was very close. This is an artist that I, with my bias, respect and love as a producer. Not only is that, but also as an artist. This is JPEG Mafia and Sin Miedo. Sin Miedo. I've obviously nailed that.
Nailed it.
But JPEG is he's a very tricky artist. He's a hip hop artist who is pushing the boundaries, much like a Tyler the Creator, where he's mixing styles together that typically aren't conducive to the hip hop kind of style. Semiato has a lot of like rock guitar, grunge. I call him like the punk version of hip hop. He's like punk hop. I probably copyrighted that, but I do agree with it. But he's pushing the boundaries. This song is a perfect mixture of rock and rap. He always gives it his best, and he's always using such unique production techniques. And me and you saw him at Primavera Sound, and you looked at me and said, "What the fuck is this?" I remember that very vividly.
Basically, yes. Basically.
So he's out there, but you cannot deny his talent for sure.
I guess to go on that, like, I love that you're into him. I love that it's a thing, but like for me, it just doesn't sound good to the ears. Like, just play it, and I'm like, well, like the guy's super talented. Can't take anything away from him. He has more talent in his arm than I do in anything, but
Even
for me,
finger.
just doesn't sound good. Like,
It's acquired. It's an
yeah,
acquired taste.
I agree.
It's very crazy.
Very crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
punk. He's like the punk version, right?
what'd you call it?
Punk hop.
Punk hop.
Punk
I call it rock rap.
Punk hop.
I feel like rock rap doesn't really fit the. Anyway, JPEG, I love you. Call yourself punk hop, please. Validate me, please. I'm
I
not
love
being
I
validated.
love before we move on, it's like you ever see those it's like reels where it's like, I hope she plays this or whatever. And it's like, this is JPEG, and it's like, I hope he plays Call Me Maybe. It's like, this is JPEG Mafia, and then it's a video of him playing Call Me Maybe by
Hey, I just met
you.
Didn't he play in the Primavera? Or he did Taylor Swift.
Can't remember.
You were so checked out at that point. It was
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's because he sucks.
We were on another planet at that point.
Well, Charlotte DeWitt into JPEG is an insane combo.
Oof.
I feel.
Is it ever? What number 9? Off my number 4 album, Evil Spawn by Waxahachie. This pretty much summarizes everything I love about the album. It has her wheeling and dealing lyricism. It has MJ Lenderman, and then it hits home about the good old days. And that's pretty much all I have to say about it. She's fantastic.
Not much to add that we didn't say in the albums. Very like easy going, like nice listen, I will say. And that's pretty much it. Rosalind?
Not much to say about this one because I'm gonna flip the script here and go next. Because my number 8 is Right Back to It. Waxahachie. So I know there's probably an MJ Letterman bias to the song, but this was the song that when I gave it a chance after not thumbing it and not, giving it the time of day for a written, where I really started to understand the kind of introspection to her lyrics, the kind of like going through a breakup, but it's like an on and off kind of reboundy thing. Like it felt so real, and just the process that we're doing because I have Right Back to It. I couldn't pick anything else. That's how I feel, but that was such a beautiful song, and it made me realize that maybe there's more to her as an artist and more to her kind of what she's doing. So made me appreciate a lot more. But that song is great. I did listen to it a lot, but yeah, Right Back to It would be my number 8.
So that would have been my like 9B. Like
9B, yeah.
I knew I needed a song or I wanted a song from this album. That's definitely the one that hits home. Again, it was the lead single. It was really where I was like, do I like country music.
Well, you're real told it all.
Yeah.
This is crazy for me to do, but
And you know, people that know me, I remember I posted it on my Instagram story, like my personal, and I have a few people who actually do listen to songs that I post, and they're like, "This is not you. This is not you." And I like one of my buddies who's a huge country head. He's just like, "That song's so good. You should post more about like that." And it really made me feel like TSR really changes your view on music, or really, I don't know, man. It just you open your eyes to more. And that's kind of how I feel more about the album than the song you're saying. But like, if we're on the Waxahachie topic, it's just fantastic.
We opened the door a few years ago when we did her first album, and like we ranked it low, but it had some really good songs on there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
That
it's
probably
kinda
could have like colored my perspective as well. That one coming out,
probably or definitely.
definitely. I
Yeah.
feel, yeah. Yeah. Also, her name's really hard to say and spell.
I will.
Is that
I will
right?
give you the benefit of the doubt. The reason that is partial, but also came out at the exact same time as Adrian Lenker's album. We were thumbing both at the same time. It is really hard to get the EDM guy into two of those albums at
You
once.
give me two cups, you lift it up.
Yeah.
One's getting the ball.
There's no
one's the-
balling under either.
Yeah, I think when I went to do it, it was like already erased.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Lonnie was upset that I gave it a no. He's like, get this the fuck off of here.
The whole time I was doing the reel, I was like, make Roz like this.
No, it was great. I don't know if MJ like I appreciate MJ a lot these days. If his like kind of influence is helping, but that really opened my eyes to kind of what like that album was doing. And no,
Boy, do I have a reel for you to check out. I can tell you his influence is definitely helping.
Number eight. Number eight.
Yeah, the
We
circle
talked
here.
about it a little bit earlier. Jamie XX, all you children. It may come after me as well. Like sample of the year. I think what'd you say? Just some kids like shouting.
Yeah, it's like a Jewish kid chant, I think.
Can I Google that or is that
Yeah, yeah. Fact check me.
Google kid
Careful what you put in
on a
the
list?
Google engine there.
I won't do that.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
But yeah, the song like absolutely slaps. No matter what kind of mood you're in, it's gonna pick you up. If you're out with the boys or out in general, like it's gonna be a killer. It has the avalanches on her, Lundy's favorite, which is a beauty.
I've made my peace.
My favorite TSR, it might be young in the game when we started, but when we were back doing reviews back then, Lonnie had a line saying, what the fuck is this? Do a song on the Avalanches album.
Yeah.
In my defense, they posted like I can't remember who else it was. It was like
What the fuck is this?
it was my worst review of all time.
What the fuck is this shit? I think I actually said.
I can't remember who it was, but it was like there was a bunch of indie artists like featured, and I was really expecting like full on songs, and the indie guys would be on there, but like, brah, wow, yeah,
Was it Bonnie? Not Bono. Who was it? There's a couple guys in there. Yeah. My favorite review to this day is Lundy. What the fuck is this shit? 2 out of 10 Avalanches.
I
Rough weekend.
So you already did your 8 from your guys's high up album from Magdalena Bay, Image. This is such a good song. This is such a good song. I love the concept of what they did with the full album, and I feel like this song just encompasses all of it. And for those who haven't listened to it, it's about you're about to morph into your true self. It's like a sci-fi type thing where you insert your current disc and you will come out a different person. And insane to think about, but the best thing that makes it is the sonics build up. So within the song, she's like 10 minutes away and it's subtle. And then she's 5 minutes away and it's getting more intense. And then she's just about to see her new true self and it's just getting wild. Like it's so good. I love the concept of the album, but I love the thought of this song more. It's so good.
This one is my favorite as well. It didn't make my top 10, but I agree. Like that swirling synth at the beginning, kind of like, woo, what's going on? and like her voice in the chorus, oh my God, like
Yeah, not baby voice. This is not no baby. Yeah,
yeah.
silky. No, it's funny because I put Love Is Everywhere as my favorite on, and we always put like our favorite song, but I do think Image is a better song. It is. When you can take a song from a concept album and pull it out of a concept and still say like good standalone is super impressive. But as like a dance pop kind of like the groove, the hook, it's really, really good. No, it's a great pick.
I'm up. Number 7. So I think I'm alone on this one based on chatter throughout the year.
Shatter.
Maybe this guy,
It's
but melodic house master Ben Bomer with In Hiding. So he has this like ability to like when I put this song on and it starts, it's like this feeling of euphoria, like right at the beginning that just goes right through, and it doesn't get like super like big bass drop or anything like that. It just like it holds and it's steady throughout the whole thing. This was one of his one of the 2 or 3 singles that they released. So you turn me on to Ben Bomer, and like this song has stuck with me all year. Super like uplifting. Just makes me feel like super good, and like melodic house. Like that's what I think of. You just feel real nice.
It's a great song. No, I've obviously been championing Ben Bomer for many years. I did a reel last year on Begin Again, his album that came out.
Last year.
This is a this is a great song. No, it's great. His style of melodic kind of almost ambient in a way, as you say, like very relaxing, is really good. It didn't make my top 10 weirdly, even though he's like really high up in my mind as far as like producing as an electronic musician. But I just felt like Begin Again set such a high bar, and it could have probably fit on the album in 2021, but didn't really go further than that. It's really good, easy listening, but just didn't really go further than that for me.
Sonics, fantastic. He builds on it. Love his drum layers. I love when it kicks in. It's just, what's her name? Like
Licky.
Licky Lie or whatever. She just sings the same thing, and that just
Very,
will drive a lyricist nuts.
very it's like EDM. Like you're gonna get that kind of that's what separates like Jamie XX, you know? Like
Yeah.
there's variation. You're not gonna get that kind of repetition that you're gonna get bored, or if you're not into that kind of music, you'll be kind of turned off from it, right? Which actually leads into my number 7, which is All You Children. Jamie XX and the Avalanches. Not much else to say other than that bass line is one of the best grooves I've heard in a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the guy can just put it together really well. He can combine digital and analog so well, and his mastery of groove and being able to create a really catchy dance song with very few elements is unparalleled in the industry right now. So yeah, my number 7.
Nothing else for me.
I can confirm it is a Jewish children chant.
Thank you.
I did not say that it wasn't. I said, should I Google this? It does show that sampling is an art form in itself. You know,
Sure is.
you follow the TrackLib page on
Great.
Instagram.
Yeah.
It is insane
Yeah.
the art of sampling. People say sampling's not music, but like you look at these guys like Kanye and etc.
My number 7, Teleharmonic by The Smile. I'll keep this simple. This song stacks up with the great songs of Radiohead.
Whoa.
How big is that list? Is that like what kind of pool are we looking at here?
A moon-shaped pool.
I set
You set me up.
I
You
set
set me up, Ernie.
volleyball in the
Easy
air.
one.
I set that one right up there.
Easy one.
Damn.
Do you
Yeah.
want me to explain more?
No. I mean,
That's what I have to say is that if you follow us, you know we love Radiohead. If you follow us, you know I've been critical of The Smile because they're not Radiohead. This is the one song where I'm like, this is as good or better than a lot of Radiohead.
yeah, like that. Ross, help me out. Like, what's that sound going on? Like it.
Humming.
We're getting carried away here.
It's like a captivating sound. Like it's like
He has Arabian flutes on it. I know that.
He has the diversity of instrumentation that he uses all the time is insane. So I actually no Teleharmonic is very good, but my number 6 is, and I kept flip flopping, is Wall of Eyes.
Okay.
So I just felt that Tom, there's some the songs that are more stripped down, where you hear more of him doing his thing. You hear like the trembling in his performance. It's just like it kind of resonated a lot more. Like it just like the stripped back kind of like slapping the guitar, the percussion, and just like his voice very isolated. I just found it like a little bit better, but it could almost like flip flop. I feel. What do you think?
Insane opener to the album.
Like,
Like I've
pitch
never
lift track
heard
first song.
a guitar sound so well. Like
Yeah.
just like Wall of Eyes, fantastic song. It's great opener. I just don't like. I wish I understood how they make the sounds they do because the guitar is so simple. It's just a little riff to open, but it doesn't sound like anything that anyone else does. I don't know. I'm learning, man. I'm growing my understanding of music, but like it just sounds so good.
They're unique. I feel like you ever watch the videos where it's like every song sounds the same because like the same chords. I feel like they're using a different scale. They're just using their own kind of method. Like their sound, like their melodies aren't like anything else. It's extremely unique.
Don't have too much to add.
Perfect.
Okay, number 6, we have Gift Horse by Idols, which came out early in the year, and I've loved it ever since. Just the like that unique guitar breaks that they have, boom, 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 or whatever it is.
I'm loving Dorito sound effects.
Like, just sick tune. Like it's the best on the album for sure. Again, I put it like I said earlier, like if you were listening to it live, like the go like that would sound so much cooler and be so like much more full in a live experience. And yeah, just think it's one of the best for sure.
One of the things I love about this song is that it would fit so perfectly on like a NHL or FIFA soundtrack.
That's so true.
It
So
is
true.
such a good stadium song.
Maybe it's Island.
I actually don't know that for sure, but like it's such a good crowd pleaser. Even if you don't like the band, no matter if you've heard them before or you haven't, you can just get infected by the song.
For
It's really
sure.
good.
Oh, definitely. No, I agree. It's very like Jack White-ish, where like they have stadium rock, like they know what people are going to. It's a call and response. They know what people will react with, so it's going to be so good. But you also find that, have you seen them live on like shows where they change the lyric every time? Like he is the king. Like he did Jay Dilla one time. Jay Dilla's the king. Like they change it up too. Like they're very fun live, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so I'm at 6.
Yep.
From an album none of us talked about, Los Campesinos Feast of Tongues. This is an incredible song. An album I wish I could have talked about more, just got cut. This is a band that was new to me this year. Very cult following, very fun. And this guy can write a song, man. Like I think every time we do podcasts like this, we end up talking about females who can write songs, who can write lyrics. Very rarely do we say that guy can write a song.
That guy.
He nails it for me. And it's like post-apocalyptic. Like it feels like, yeah, it feels in tune with how the world is right now. Just the thought of like feasting on the tongues of the last bootlickers.
What's the deal with feasting on the tongues?
But it's like it's such an interesting, like you have to listen to it, right? Like you have to listen to the full song. It's like different language, like it's like almost like Walking Dead in a way. Like it's it's post-apocalyptic. It's an interesting thought, and it's something that's not done. It's a really good song. And I think we all picked it as the best song on the
You
album.
did, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It is a good song. Yeah. I think their style of music is what kind of dropped it down from my top 10. Just because like that punk rock, like indie, I don't know.
Did you find it like I found it's almost like a time capsule? Like it reminded me of like music from like the earlier 2000s. Like they're kind of stuck in that kind of like range of music,
Yeah.
which is great. But yeah, I just kind of I kind of felt them like kind of in a box.
Yeah,
Right.
it is a great song though, and it has like the ooh at,
Oh,
at,
we're
at
getting,
the,
some Reed
at the
performances on the
beginning,
song.
like
I get what he's saying this time though. It's
very sing along ish.
like didn't love the first few songs on the album, and this is the point. It's this and Long Throws where it felt like the first few songs on the album was just him, like he was just writing good lyrics, singing, and then Long Throws and this is just like ooh
It was very funny
ooh.
too. Like his lyrics are very like tongue in cheek. Like he's like silly. Do you
Yeah,
find that?
well, he's feasting on the tongue
Feasting on the tongues.
of the last
Yeah.
bootlickers. But it's a lot about it, right? Like he wrote the song after they're from the UK and after their government kind of went the Trump way,
Brexit.
essentially.
Brexit.
And it feels like it's a preview to what's happening. And it's like you forget the language, you forget how the world operated, and it's like, but all these people who are like the supporters of what a lot of people would consider the wrong side of things, you're feasting on
The tongues.
yeah, of their bootlickers. Yeah, that's what I have to say.
Yeah, it's very deep. Great album. It did very well.
Okay, moving into the top 5, we have a song that's already been listed, "Teleharmonic" by The Smile. Don't have much else to say that we haven't already said. It's just like a microcosm of Tom and Johnny and like their work and their excellence, and just another one, like Lundy said, to like throw on the pile of like just amazing tracks that they've come up with. Um, I don't know. You guys got anything else or
I just like this album is objectively really good. I picked Wall of Eyes, but like Teleharmonic, Bending Hectic, there's a lot of good songs. Like,
read the room? I quit.
yeah, they're all good. So it's like how do you choose which one to pick? Crazy.
Yes, man.
Yes, man. Yeah, I agree with Roz's assessment of the album. It's really
It's
good.
close. It's like this.
Still don't I don't understand. Is he saying Teleharmonic the same way that me and you are? I think he's saying it a little differently.
Like
Who,
a
Roz?
Yeah, I
harmonic,
think
like I'm putting a little stank on
you're
it.
putting a little like
Like
emphasis on the
What
wrong
is- what
syllable.
is that
like
tele-
QUE harmonique.
If you say advertisement or advertisement, there's a couple ways to say things.
I say advertisement.
Oh.
Stumped them. Big guys, relax. All right, so speaking of moving to the male side of songwriting, this is my number 5. It is "She's Leaving You," MJ Lenderman. This was a hard pick because there's a lot of songs on that album that I could have picked, but this song I felt encapsulated him like creating this loser guy story who just is like every song he's like just creates these little worlds of people that just suck, and you almost empathize so much. And I just felt this one was like such a good example of like what he's trying to do on this album. So yeah, "She's Leaving You," MJ Lenderman.
Yeah, fantastic song. It was his lead single, I think,
Yeah.
coming out.
His
And
voice on it. Oh yeah, it's
I think there's a little bit of like looking back on it where Carly Hartzman sings the outro
yeah.
and they broke up.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Oh yeah, it's like an extra layer.
yeah, it's fantastic. All right, yeah. So wristwatch by MJ Lenderman. This is my favorite little world he created, to steal a word from Roz. Uh, I'm not looking at your sheet, but it's really introspective about like who you are and materialistic things versus your personal values and relationships, which is crazy to boil down to an Apple Watch. And it's a really cool insight where he says the apps on your phone, the realistic ones, doesn't matter because you're still alone. But then he takes it a step further where if you are so rich, you can afford this watch that has mind blowing effects, but at the same time, you're still alone. It's he's so slacker, he's so stoner. It feels like he has his feet up just writing songs, but it's so crazily intellectual. Like it's so smart.
Like Norm Macdonald said, no one cares. no one wants to hear the smart guy. That's why you play the dumb guy. Like he's super smart, but he masks it. Like with the wristwatch, even if you have no money, everybody has a fucking smartwatch. Like he's doing the lowest denominator. Everyone can like relate to that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's
Like everyone wears it, and it's like the first time you get it, you're like, man, it's really cool. Like I can track all this shit, and it's like it feels good to have that materialistic thing, and then suddenly it's like you forget about
oh yeah.
the other things.
He starts with the boat. He's like, I have a boat. Then he goes down to the water. He's like bringing it down to the lowest denominator. And he's like, I'm also fucking lonely loser by myself.
Yeah,
Right. Do you think that he's talking about him? Do you think that that is
No.
a metaphor for himself? No.
No.
You don't think? No.
Not at all.
That was my like my lore. Like, is he talking like a lot? Are these songs like pieces of him, or is it just like characters he's creating?
I think it might be a little bit of people he's interacted with in his life.
That makes sense.
I would not think it's him because he's the guy that lives with only the beer app.
It's probably Jeff Bezos at the Amazon stage.
There's a little bit of something to it. There's definitely experience. I don't think he's just coming up straight with these songs, but anyways,
So it's number 4 for me. You basically hit all the points. Like material things cannot replace immaterial, and especially when you're in those real low moments in your life, it doesn't matter what you have. Like it can't really step in and be a replacement. Talking about the like Carly and her singing. So one big thing for me, like I see them performing this live on shows and like like in front of like the world audience, I would say, and the world, and he has Carly there singing with him, and we've all gone through breakups, guys. Like they suck, right? Like they suck, no matter how like headstrong you are and everything. And just like to have her there, like singing with him, like behind, like I just like for me, like it's an extra level. It's just an extra level of like what he's going through, and to like keep that relationship between them that's professional, but like try to separate the personal at the same time. Like I just think back on that and think like what like is he thinking and how that impacts him.
See, I feel like he's so, and it might be his character. I feel like he's so laid back that they had an amicable breakup, and they're just like, let's just sing this. I feel like there's no like deeper thing to it. Like they're on good terms. I mean, he's still in Wednesday, right? You know what I mean? In that way,
as far as we know.
you know. So my number 4 feeds into my one of my top albums. Very unique song, very well done. The song "Van Goghs" by Being Dead. I put this on the list. You guys really like this song. This is probably the best song to encapsulate what they're trying to do with the kind of surf rock Beach Boys mixed up with like kind of new age indie rock sound. It's just like it goes all over the place. It's weird. There's no like ABA structure. They're kind of like just throwing everything at it, and it works.
Yeah, it's like super enjoyable listen. Like, very fun. Yeah.
I love the back and call of it, like the call. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love the back and forth.
I love the like old influences. Like it's like
Ah.
so much different than like what's typical right now.
Yeah. For me, it's just like it was. You guys both put one song on the playlist that made me second guess my list. This was the song that made me second guess myself on Roz's side. It's friggin' fantastic. It's so groovy, man.
Very
The
good.
whole album. I wish we had more
I feel
time.
like I'm just like going down the road in like a shitty old van.
Or like a
Tunes are
lawnmower.
blasting, and I'm like just back and forth with my boys, just listening to the best song, and it's so good.
But to
So
me,
good.
like the album, like I'm very curious to see where the album fell off for you guys, because that whole album had that kind of
Too long.
spacey, kind of chill, beachy vibe. I felt the Godzilla Rises, all these songs, it's just like so out there.
I got to give it another go. That was when I listened to it. I remember like I liked a couple, like a few songs, and then the rest just fell off. So
There's just a little too much filler there for me.
I do really like that song though.
Out of
I
your
put him
record
in the
now.
back. You, me, and you up front. Don't want to call this song a Magnus opus, but it's such a cherry on top of an insane career. It is End Song by The Cure. How does a song that has 5 minute interlude feel like it's a 2 minute song? That's how I feel about it. It just blows me away. It's just slightly layered for 5 minutes, and then one of the best vocalists of all music comes in and just delivers this super sad, introspective thought process on how he was one of the greatest band singers, and now it's like it all comes to an end, no matter how perfect you are, doesn't matter, comes to an end. And that's kind of like chills type thing, but like, how do you put that in the words? And he does it so well, plus still leaves the Cure stamp on it.
My only comment is what I said earlier. So first, I listened to this song before I listened to the album, and I was sitting in the truck at work, and it went on for 5 minutes with, which was I was like, this is pretty cool, but 5 minutes is a bit much. But then I went back and listened to the full album, and it was a totally different feel. Like it kind of fit more. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to like standalone song, I'm like, yeah, maybe. But like, but as a ender to like a real solid album, like absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
And song.
And so
So I gave this a couple of rinses when you did your reel, like high praise, and I echo a lot of stuff here. So the song itself, I can appreciate a slow build, tension coming up and elements being added. I think the song's great. I do think within the album, it makes it even better. It amplifies that by giving it that kind of that bookend, that cap. I think for you especially as a fan, it being the end song is not for the album; it's the end song for their careers. So you're looking at it from
Ooh.
the beginning to the end. So that's why it has so much weight because it's their 30-year trajectories at this moment of this closing moment. Right?
Yeah, rewind the tape. I said that when they were number 6 album.
Yeah.
It's the end.
But what I'm saying is that
No, I agree with you.
the power of that song is based on the emotion you have
Agreed.
for the.
I absolutely 100% agree. In the same capacity that I said the album could be a number 1 album versus a number 6, I gave the album less what's the word?
claim.
Acclaim. There we go. Then
Rouse
it
the sword.
could possibly be. Like, I don't think it gets worse. Whereas the song, I'm not sure it gets better, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
You can only go up from here. You're either right or you're more right.
Yeah, like the album, I don't know. But the song I'm pretty confident in, and I agree with you that it could come down to just really loving The Cure.
There's also a beauty in that their potential final song. This is kind of capping. Not a lot of artists have the ability to go, this might be it, and then just end it on your note with your song. That's what it kind of felt like.
I don't know if there's others.
Good, like the end. That's like the end. Should call it
It's-
the end, not
Well, I mean, End Song is
song.
pretty appropriate.
the end song.
and it's like it's the type of thing like as a single, like you wouldn't throw it on and just like
Part of
you
a
have
bigger
to know
mo-
the
yeah.
band, their history. Like it holds much more weight where it is on the album, where they are.
I
in their
tried hard.
Career. Like it's one of the like
Gonna have
it-
to edit my playlist
a-
of this song, Patio Lantern,
it's a
and
lot.
Holly by
I tried,
Nirvana.
I tried really hard. When Lonnie did the reel, I went back and listened to a lot of The Cure to get the context of the song because there's like every song has subjective context, and I could feel it there, but I didn't feel it. I knew that there was more to it,
Mhm.
right? So no, I
It was
respect
hard
the
to
pick.
capture it all, like in
Yeah, unless you're like a
couple
fan for
listens,
years
yeah.
and years and years.
Okay. Number 3. Probably the only artist, the only song this year that when I listen to it, like gives me chills. You guys probably know like the artist at least. The song is No Machine by Adrienne Lenker. It's right in that sweet spot of the real good ones on her album. Just like like just a flat out love song, right? Um, the real nice like guitar intro, and she just like I don't know what else to say. Like,
I'm actually like I understand what you're trying to say by how flustered you are trying to talk about it, and it's just a song that hits you right in the fucking emotion.
It's a
Right in the
it's the
field.
quality of the songwriting. Like you could feel it. You don't know why. It's like No Machine. Like against all odds, fuck the world and fuck what's going on. Like we will work. It hits anybody really. Who's
It
in a
like it
relationship.
still even to this day I listen to it get like chills.
Yeah.
Like it's that beautiful, and I don't know what I do, don't know what I do without you, don't know where I go, don't know where I go without you. Like it's just like I said earlier with the other song, Free Treasure, like just like super simple, but like so like meaningful, and like the way she delivers it is second
with
to none.
emotion.
Well, I just think it goes to show how great she is.
Yeah.
Because as much as I want to criticize her album as a total, I ended up putting two of her songs on my like I was the first one to populate the playlist. And she had two songs on there in terms of my favorite songs. She's incredible. She is absolutely incredible.
There's something to be said about she's not coming with bells and whistles or a full band playing every instrument in the world. Like she's just there with like a pen and paper saying really touching things that affect people. And like it's the words. You saw me walk in. Lonnie walked in on me
Yeah, this is good.
in Mexico, very hungover, man. At my friend's bachelor. I was laying there with a phone on my chest, crying with No Machine playing in the room.
Actually, Brian?
Yeah,
Tears
no.
were being shed.
He was really sad. So I came upstairs to try and get him, and I walk in and he's listening to Adrian Linker, No Machine, this song. And I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just gonna have a shower here now."
I was really tired. I needed to check a shower.
Yeah. Anyways, he's yeah.
That's
Tears were shed.
that's amazing.
Yeah. Music connects.
Sorry, I was telling that story more for Reed than. Go ahead.
Forgot I cried.
You were crying for sure.
It was sad. Being hungover sucks. Really sad to be hungover.
All right.
Okay, no, yeah, so yeah, the song connects to you. Whenever
Connects right in the feelings.
are we?
Three.
So number 3, this was a toss-up. This is really hard to pick. My number 1 album of the year, Only God Above Us. This is Prep School Gangsters, my number 3. This was really hard. I had a lot of songs on that album that I want. If I could pick them all, I would.
Top 10 of 2024
yeah,
is the
like-
10 songs from Only God Was
Like
Above.
Prep School Gangsters, Capricorn, Gen X Corpse, fucking Connect. Like they're all really good, and they all show off the talent of the band. And it was really hard to pick, but the second layer of the voicing coming in was a bass guitarist that also sang on that, and just like the really simple guitar hook and just fantastic.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
really good.
This is like I think I was saying this when I said it was my number 1. It was like when I heard Prep School Gangsters, I was like, this is so good. This is next level amazing. Yeah, I agree with you. It's the bass that comes in for me. I like the secondary vocals, the backup vocals as well. And then like you feel like the song is about to end, and then they just go on a like 30-second violin trip, and it's so interesting. And the first time you hear it, you're just like, that's kind of weird. And then the second time you hear it, you're like, still pretty weird,
Still
but
weird but good.
like I wish I could do that. And then the third time you hear it, you're like, can you do that longer? Anyways, I love Prep School Gangsters
Wait, his
as well.
voice, like his like, would you call it falsetto? He can go. He can go. Like obviously can never do this ever, but he can go so high. You know what I mean?
Can you try?
Oh god, that's getting cut. Get that. But no, it's just like again, just like a reflection of just like the talent of the entire band, everyone working together super well, just like the skill involved. It's just a really good song.
Amazing tune. Amazing. Like for me, Prep School Gangsters is what I would play for someone that like hasn't heard them before.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to bring them into him. Say, listen to this. Like you'll really love it. Like you know what I'm saying? The most like accessible, like most mainstream type thing.
Like
And-
it's an easy song to, if you're, say we're sharing the post about our review, it's an easy one to include on it.
That will definitely be what we use this year. I feel when we all drop our ones at the same
Super
time.
catchy.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yep.
So really,
My number three. My number three is Albert Road by English Teacher. I think this is, yeah, it's one of the best closing songs I've ever heard on an album.
the end song.
Better, better.
Look at the end song.
Well, it's
Couple notches better.
by 2 points. It's so good. I love that she puts her experience as a kid growing up, like how she was a black girl in a white community, and juxtapositions that across the first two verses. She's like, they don't care about me, and it makes it feel like it's she's out to get him. But then the second verse is like, well, I don't care about you, and then just flips it, and it's like such an opposite song building where rather than like slowly building up to it, they build it up and then they just deconstruct the hell out of it. Like once she screaming or like whatever, she like, it's so good. Like you said, a song that gave you chills. This song gives me chills. When she starts screaming and the piano comes in, oh, every single time. So good.
They're definitely the new wave of indie rock. Like it's like how not everyone goes to space kind of sucks because they cut it off too quick. They're just trying new things. Like the structure of their song is different. It's the new wave of indie rock, but the song is really good. Did make my list. I felt that obviously a really strong message, but I kind of find it hard like these younger freshman bands are like really, really, really deep songs. It's like they're still so young in their career and they have so much to experience. I feel like a bit tighter in some ways, but like it's a great song. It's a great album. I like it, but I just to make my help. It's hard to say at this point.
I mean, it's pretty easy to say.
Maybe
Like
that's
the scoreboard indicates that I'm generally right and you're generally wrong. So probably
because Brett summer exists and Waxy's good sometimes, and other things as well.
wax a hatch sometimes.
I think I call yeah. Anyway,
No, excellent song. So my choice, Paving Slab, fell out there last minute ditch, and I consider putting it in there. It was in our list. Great song. I mean, I think it like really captures everything that they do, right? Like they're kind of all over the place. Her beautiful voice and like the meandering styles, and like it just continues right to the finale, and like really sums it up real nice.
very meandering. You're right. They meander a lot.
Have a question for you guys. In terms of how good a song is, do you ever consider it how good it is within the album, or do you just like pick out a song and just in a solo look? Like, because that song to me, and the reason I asked the question is it's so good because of how well it fits in the album, how well it closes out this meandering, beautiful debut album.
I think personally, I do it within the album first, and then like take a few standouts
Me
and
too.
think more globally.
Yeah. In album bonus points like with Megan Bay if it works outside the album as a standalone. If you're in a concept album and you can sound good also standalone, that's like amplifies your points there.
Hmm.
But do you find here's a question for you, like you're picking a lot of closers in your songs?
Yeah.
Like do you find there's an art to the closer when it comes to these albums that like tying it all up at the end? Because that's like two closers now you've had. There's a style that I find to closing an album out. If you go slow, you wrap it all up.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think the reason this song I would go to bat with you over. I would just like tell you it's fantastic. End song by The Cure, I could be sold on it different. It's more so the love of The Cure, the love of a band, their send off type thing. So that's where I feel on that. So ultimately, I feel like I know I chose two closers, but that, yeah.
I think there's something to it. Like I think we all appreciate that like album feel.
Album
Right?
structure and
Who
album
said that?
album numbering, I feel I've learned more to respect now at TSR. How like you have an album done, what's the order going to be?
Mhm.
Where are we going? So the closer usually is the culmination, or at least cooling it off, or explaining it, or
Just like
summing it up.
concluding,
Yeah.
you know, like a concluding feeling to it.
But that album has 4 closing songs, like Side Boob and
Oh, yeah, it's just
what-
like-
there's like 4, like you think the album's over.
Yeah, it goes up and then down. Yeah, no, it does. But there's an art to that. I feel with the closing stuff.
Yeah, the art to that is save a couple.
Put it on the next one. Close that one.
No, seriously though, like how do you write 4 closing songs? Like people can't write closing songs.
Yeah. Yeah, stop showing off.
Okay, number 2. Arguably the biggest commercial song of the year, Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. What can I say about it? So it was the heat of the rap battle that we had. This one kind of put the nail in Drake's coffin because it was so damn like, say what you want about like all the disses and like all the like heavy ones that they went with. This one, the fact that it was like just so catchy and caught on, and it was being played everywhere, being played in all the clubs, being played like, you just know fucking Drake hated that. You just know it. You just know, because Drake's all about the clout. Like Kendrick likes like keeping it low key and doing his thing. Drake's all about the numbers, and Kendrick just kind of stepped in his territory, put out like the biggest bop of the feud, and it just kept going forever. And then they made a video of it. DeMar DeRozan was in it. His wife was in it after Drake chirped him.
His dance was so sick. A minor.
Like the dance, like they had like it like brought all the West back together. Like you talk of like the Western US. Like you talk to like you look at stuff on social media, and it was like it brought all those guys back together. Like I'll give Drake credit. He was like very like he Toronto centric,
Yeah.
you know, in his raps over the years. And Kendrick did that for LA in like this beef. And he really brought like everybody together. Like that rap video was a big thing with all like deep diabolical messages that were in there. Like I'm not gonna comment on the like the pedophile stuff because who knows. But like it was really
Can I
like,
interject there?
like nail in the coffin type thing on that beef, and amazing track too. It's excellent.
So I have my note is I hope he chooses Euphoria because I know you're going to choose one of these songs.
Yeah.
My reasoning behind this is I don't see how this song ever ages well. There's 0% chance it ever ages well. Either he ends up being a pedophile, not good. He doesn't be a pedophile, and not good. What's the in between? Then the beef meant nothing. So that's my opinion. I think, here's my take, is that aside from, actually, above the Charlie XCX Brat Summer, the biggest story of the year is Drake versus Kendrick. This song and all the other songs are more of a story of the year rather than greatest song of the year. I think the songs are good. I think the way they're constructed is interesting, but I just do not see any way that it ends up being good in terms of like how does it age well? Like it's not like the Tupac Biggie beef for me. Like there's no in between, and I feel like the other song, Euphoria, could have accomplished that.
So my thoughts with this song is this. I feel like the song itself, yes, it sounds great. DJ Mustard's a great producer, but I feel that it's not about the diss itself because this Drake stuff, these rumors have been going on forever.
Yeah.
It's only Kendrick is just the one to be like, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Like he didn't really invent, he didn't deep dive, he didn't push a T find out that Drake's having a kid and it's a secret. He's just saying a thing that people have been saying. So it's like it's kind of a low-hanging fruit song, but it's well done. And there's the social aspect where it brought up a lot of people together and kind of harmonized like the rap like genre, but I don't think. Yeah, I think it's a good song, but like you said, it's not gonna go down in history as like this song has layers to it or what anywhere. It's he's just saying what people are thinking. Really, it's catchy as shit. It's good.
It's a story for me.
Drake talking to Stranger Things girl Millie Bobby Brown has been around for like 5 years.
Yeah,
He's just
exactly.
like, I'm
Exactly.
gonna say it. I'm saying it out loud.
And even if that's not the reason that brought it together, like if there was other rumors, it's just like ultimately the beef is so good. The genre needed it.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's the one song that cannot age well. That's my opinion. No way it ages well.
I don't disagree.
What if
Or,
what
like,
if the
overall.
girl that he saved becomes the next president?
That means he's a pedophile.
No, I mean
No one wants a song about a
saved
pedophile.
her from Drake. Maybe Millie Bobby Brown. becomes
Okay,
the next
okay, maybe
president-
there's one way.
president of the United States.
Anyway, I'm not disagreeing whatsoever about your song choice. I would ultimately label this as a story of the year rather than a song of the year.
That's fair.
Juicy got. It's like a juicy.
Yeah.
It's like the.
I don't debate
the
it. Just
tea.
like in a vacuum, the song is like very good. It was like
Trying to strike a
The production's great and the
minor.
wordplay is amazing.
yeah,
And the beef, like he's killing.
Edit
kills
that
him.
out.
He kills him.
like numbers wise,
X-rays 'em.
it destroyed. Like it was the peak and final nail in the coffin of one of the biggest rap
Also on
things
his
of
new
all
album,
time.
he makes the Hard Part 6 and just completely ignores that
Ignores it.
Drake made the Hard Part 6.
Which is
Oh, that's so good. Like that's what I'm saying. It's
did
a
it perfect.
story.
perfect beat.
It's such a mind fuck of a story. Like the dominated headlines. But for me, am I gonna say it's the best song?
I would call it best beef, I think, of all time.
Yeah, it's the best story.
beef. I'd say best beef squash ever in any music. Like who else other
Glad-
than
glad we witnessed it.
shot and killed, but no.
Two?
Number 2.
That was 2 for you?
Two for him.
That was 2 for me. On this way?
Yes.
So this one's been talked about. I always love these kind of picks because I come from an electronic background. This is not my
Come
wheelhouse.
from a land downtown.
Not my
From a
wheel-
land down under.
Not my wheelhouse whatsoever. But it's when these things impact me, I know they're special. And my number 2 is No Machine. Adrian Lenker. Fantastic song. I've cried physical, salty tears of this song.
King Christ.
There's something about telling somebody no machine, like the capitalists or whatever, the society we live in, nothing, no matter what gets thrown at us, we will persevere. It's beautiful, and that relates to every living being. I feel it's just a deep songwriting connection that is makes you want to cry in Mexican hotel again.
I've said all I can say.
I guess I'll just elaborate.
I guess I'll say more.
Yeah, just beautiful. Like I turn it on and I'm just like captivated, taken to another world, get the goosebumps going, and yeah, it's just
And just nothing, just a little doo like a little strum. There's nothing.
Yep.
I don't even know there's a drummer in that song. There's no percussion. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, there's
One guy playing a bass acoustic and one girl
One girl
playing
talking about machines.
yeah,
Right.
playing a general acoustic. My number 2 is Mary Boone by Vampire Weekend. Fantastic song. Like I was talking about earlier, Prep School Gangsters is really close. When I say that it was our number 1 album overall, the only flaw in the album is that I want to listen to Prep School Gangsters and Mary Boone. So I'm skipping songs just to listen to how good both those songs are.
What about Gen X Corpse? That one's great too.
I said what I said.
those are the top 2, and it is my number 1 on the year.
Just drop number 1 like that.
Right though.
Damn. No, it's good.
It
I kind of figured that.
just it was my favorite from the get go, and then we listened to that song.
How much did the live performance sway you though?
it kind of put it at an untouchable place.
Yeah, yeah.
Like throughout the years, like
So much actually.
nothing really even came close. Just like the choir and like how they come in like to start and then they break into that big like sample. What's the sample from?
No, I don't think it is a sample, but it sounds like a Moby beat.
They have a drum break. Yeah, it's like an old almond break, like an old.
Yeah.
Say I'm
Yeah.
right, Moby.
So they
It-
so
it
they
was
do
Moby.
that and then
It was Moby.
they like reset again and the choir takes over
Oh yeah.
and then they build it up again and just like it's a magical
On
song.
the dark side.
It's a like
Oh, you move.
there's not many songs that make me feel that way. Seriously, there's
It's
not
really,
many.
really good.
Like it's
It's really good. It's funny because Connect, when I watched that live, I almost slipped in prep school because it was so. When you see, you appreciate it more when you see them actually perform it.
yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
So, been giving this band high praise all night, but my number one, not an EDM song at all. My number one is Starburster.
Also my number one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whee!
This song, I'm sorry to steal your thunder, but
take
this
it away.
song sounds like nothing ever before.
Nothing.
This is it's like Gotham's Reckoning. This is like a new wave. I want a whole album that sounds like this.
It's great. They're taking the rock, they're putting the rock trope, and they're just putting random like him breathing aggressively in
because of his panic attack. He's like,
he is using audio cues to create a kind of tone or kind of like theme of what he's feeling. Anxiety. It's like a basically a 4 or 3 minute panic attack. That's what it is.
yes,
It's insane. Yeah.
it's so good.
It is
it-
so
it's-
stressful.
It sounds like a shift in music to me.
Yeah.
It's like when this song came out, I was like, that's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. This is not
the-
what I'm used to.
like the panic attack like is weird, but then it's like no one else is doing
No
that.
one's doing it.
No one's
They-
doing
they've been
that.
doing it. They've been doing rock music for decades.
And yeah, and then it's like he's also like just kind of like not, I don't want to call it rap, but like he's
Mm.
such a, the way he enunciates his words in his native dialect is so interesting to me.
It's taking just like the dynamics of the genre and just adding, you said, like almost like a rap to it, and then just like its own unique elements to it, and it feels so fresh. The whole album feels fresh, but it shouldn't. It's just rock music. They've added something to it. If you can add something to rock in 2024,
Insane.
it's insane.
Thank you for tuning in to TSR's year end. We've had a whole lot of fun, as you may imagine if you've tuned into the whole time. As a sign off, this is Roz. That's Reed. I love them both. They're my bros. And choose.